pilots, Drain Man here, and today I've got an all-new drone for you. This is the all-new Pavo Pico 2. That is right. Version 1 was fun, but version 1 is done. And version 2 is here, and I can't wait to open it up, check it out, and take it for a spin. All right, pilots, so here's the deal. The Pavo Pico was amazing. It's a generation of these whoop drones, Cine-whoop style, micro, quad whoopy drone styles. Look at these things. They're so cool. They're a lot of fun. They come with ducks. They come with blades. They got built-in HD footage, DJI air units, 04s, 03s, you name it, it does it. They've got built-in grommets and camera mountings and LED rings, so they just look good. And then when you get behind one and you fly it, you just get blown away almost every time because they do fly good. They're impressive. They are. I have personally loved this line. Not everybody agrees, and maybe that's why the Pico 2 is here. So I'm going to zip this box open really quick like. Look at that, huh? Woo-hoo. We can check it out together for the first time. You got to give it the shake. All right, so what do we got inside? We've got a tool and some spare grommets. We've also got extra props, and we've got our USB Type-C connector. And the reason why we have that in a package separated is because on this beautiful, magnificent drone, there is no plug for that. And if you didn't look at this package and you just dived into this drone, you may say, well, where do I connect to Betaflight? Or maybe if you're familiar with it, you already know, but if you're not, and you bypass this, you won't get far. You've got to use this little jumper plug with this adapter to plug into the back of the quadcopter right here, and then you can connect to Betaflight with USB Type-C. All right, pilots, there's gonna be those few pilots who just aren't fans of the DJI 04 Lite. They really want the DJI 04 Pro. And if that is you, for a measly $6, you can get a whole new canopy and put yourself in the DJI 04 Pro. That means no more narrow footage. That means no more jello, which I don't know, we may not even have jello with this upgraded mounting system, but if we do, you could easily get away from that. And they sent me the Lava Series 2S 550 batteries. That's these puppies right here. Check this out. They're absolutely gorgeous, and they really are good packs. If you have flown these and then pulled out a different pack and flown it on one of their drones, you would know that these are really good packs. The Lavas are fantastic for micro drones. But what are you going to do when this drone gets that much more heavy because you've upgraded to the DJI 04 Pro? Well, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. So you're going to want to put in a 3S battery. Well, guess what? This can handle it, and it is made for it. The second part of this is this drone, once it has the 04 Pro, won't even turn on. Well, the drone will, but the 04 Pro won't turn on with a 2S battery because it requires higher voltage to run. So you're going to want to upgrade to a 3S anyways. So the beauty is the drone is not only set up for a canopy swap, it is easily set up to run a 3S. And you can run the 3S now with the 04 Lite and really be extra powerful, but it's really designed for, in my opinion, they've set this up so if you're going to run the 04 Pro, you just simply switch out your 2S, put on your 3S, and now you're running the ever so wonderful DJI 04 Pro. Okay, so version 1 of the Pavo Pico did not feature these wonderful 4 shock-absorbing grommets right here. And you can see that this whole thing is wonderfully, wonderfully bouncy and acceptable to take on all the vibration in the world. The first version did not offer that. It just had grommets right here in the camera. So it wasn't really set up or able to be able to take on that much vibration, and we struggled with a little bit of jello. I don't think we're going to have that problem anymore. Now, this is the next generation of the frame. It has this supported structure with the guided mounts. Look at this, and a 4-screw design makes it very easy, very quick, and very rigid. That is awesome. That is strong, and it should be quick to pull apart and swap out. That part is very nice. It does come with the 1102 14,000 kV motors. These are the lava motors, and they're very nice. They were used on version 1, but this exact model is a newer version. Same setup, same specs, but it does have a 10% better thrust rate. And that can be very helpful when you're coming out of a power loop or a Matty or something, or maybe a drop or a dive and you need that extra little punch. That 10% is going to go a long way. The motors are mounted inverted and your props are mounted the correct way. So this would be called a pusher. And the other bonus is you have protected ducts all the way around. And again, you're set up to be able to run LEDs by just placing them all the way around the outside if you wanted to. You are going to take a little bit of your battery draw, but that's okay. It's worth it to look good and feel good. If I flip it over, you're going to see under here, we've got this little antenna right here. That is our ELRS. What makes that awesome is that this is going to have outstanding range if you're running an ELRS radio. Right now, I am running the all-new TX15 by Radio Master. And we are moving through a series. We're upgrading this bad boy. Look at the new AGO2 gimbals we just put in. We're doing some cool stuff. So go ahead and check that out. But now I can fly this radio on this if I want to, or I can just disable the ELRS altogether and run my trusty, dusty DJI remote. Now, as far as our video, because it is the 04, I can run my favorite goggles in the world at the moment, which is these bad boys here. All right, so that's very nice, and all this is on board to this little wonderful magnificent drone. If you want to slide in your battery, it is a perfect snug fit. Look at that. This isn't sliding, this isn't moving, this is nothing. This is perfect. Now, if you do run a different brand and it is a little bigger, online it does say, just grab yourself a couple pairs of snips and you'll just give this a little snip, crack, 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 and then you can put in any battery you want and you can fit a strap or any type of rubber band setup and you can pass it through right under here. They've left a complete open gap to pass it under and strap your battery. So you're not tied down to it, but if you're like me where they've given you lavas and you're gonna run the ones that belong and they fit, why wouldn't you? But if you are running a different brand and it's too big or too small and you want a tighter, better fit, you can cut those and make it better. Now, with 54 grams and a 80 millimeter wheelbase, this puppy is really fit to go in some small places. So that makes it a lot of fun. Now, on board, our flight controller is an F4 20 amp all-in-one flight controller. It has dual BECs. One is a 9 volt 2 amp for the HD VTX, and the other one is a 5 volt 3 amp, and that's for any other external device that you might run. You may run GPSs or whatever, LEDs, whatever you may want to run. You've got it all here because they didn't skimp out when it comes to the actual stack, the actual board that flies this bad boy. Keep in mind that the ELRS is coming from the onboard all-in-one flight controller, ESC flight controller combo. It is a built-in ELRS receiver, and then you've also got the Blue Jay 48K firmware running your ESCs. And if you look closely, you'll see that the motors are just simply plugged in. So if a motor does kick the bucket, which they usually don't, you'll just undo these 3 screws, and they actually give you the driver for it. You'll undo these 3 screws, pull up the motor, unplug it, plug in the new one, and put the 3 screws back. Could it really be any easier? Something that I really like is they've given you access to your plug, which plugs in your DJI Air unit. They've given you access to the USB Type-C to be able to flash your DJI Air unit, which I've got to set it up. I've got to activate it. I've got to bind it. I've got to do all that. I've got access right here on both sides. Right here I can reach that stuff, and right here I can reach the button. And this one doesn't have SD card expansion, but if it did, I'd be able to reach it right there. All right. Now, with the new version of this canopy, like we talked about, the grommets are built into the entire thing. As you can see, look at that. All right. No more soft mounting just the camera, making it very complex, hard to work on, lots of screws, all that's gone. You just have the simple 4 screws. But what you'll also notice is that you can go ahead and adjust these to get any angle you're looking for. We've got plenty of holes up top to allow air through to keep our air unit nice and cool, but we also have enough plastic that it's going to stay protected and it shouldn't break. All right, the last thing to cover is that this bad boy set up and ready to go with the 04 air unit, full setup, full package, ready to go out of the box is only $224 or $225. That is not bad, and you're ready to go. All you got to do is bind to your goggles, bind to your radio, off to the sky. $225. But if you really want to save money and you've already have a DJI air unit, or maybe you've got a broken quadcopter with one in it, you can pull that air unit out. You can buy this entire setup for $100, maybe $105. What is it? There it is, $105, and you've got yourself the Pavo Pico 2 for $105, but you've got to have your own air unit. You would go ahead and pop it in. It takes a few seconds, maybe a couple minutes at most, and you are now rocking the new Pavo Pico for not much money at all. All right, pilots, that is going to do it for the Pavo Pico 2. I'm going to jump into Betaflight, put on my rates. I'll link up my radio to ELRS. I'll link up my goggles to the DJI 04, and then I'm taking it to the sky. I'll be sure to link plenty of flight footage. I hope that you guys had as much fun as I did, and I will see you on the next one.
Let me lead the way. You prototype, let's get into things. Let's innovate. I lead the way. Girl, your body classy. Turn the heads and causing traffic, you a baddie. Yeah. Girl, you body bag 'em. Kill it. Imagine we get active. Let's get active. Fresh off the block, shawty. What love's a Glock 40. Let me spend this time on you. Wanna get to know the mind of you. Where you going? Where you been at? Is that too far? It's been a minute. Let me make a plan for us. You been laying low, low, low. Swoop you out your shell. Let me break your mold. Keep it low. Let's take it slow. Let's keep it low. You cutting edge, bleed it, baby. Let's innovate. Let me lead the way. You prototype. Let's get into things. Let's innovate. I lead the way. Love the way I'm feeling when I'm with you. Turn around, let the sun catch up. I'm tripping. I keep it steady, long as I'm with you. But you caught a feeling, what you gon' do with it, boy? Where you been at? Is that too far? It's been a minute. Let me make a plan for us. You been laying low, low, low. Let's take it slow, baby, let me know. You couldn't edge, bleed it, baby. Let's innovate, let me lead the way. You prototype, let's get into things. Let's innovate. Prototype, let's get into things. Let's innovate. I lead the way. Love the way I'm feeling when I'm with you. Turn around, let the sun catch up. I'm tripping. I keep it steady, long as I'm with you. But you caught a feeling, what you gon' do with it, boy? Where you been at? Is that too far? It's been a minute. Let me make a plan for us. You been laying low, low, low.